Alright, so I've done a little more work here. This is it's a form of warm white LED, but as you can see it's distinctly green, so it gives more of a fluorescent lighting kind of effect. I think this is pretty good for the color that should go there. Maybe a bit of yellow as well, but I'm definitely liking that. And over here you can see these are actually amber LEDs as opposed to orange. And I want the effect here to be, the downstairs looked pretty orangish yellow overall. Could have been the film stock, but I'd like to retain that kind of effect. So I'm probably going to add a warm white LED in here to, and maybe ramp the orange back a little. That's a little strong right now. And the elevator is a little bright too, but it can work on that. Over here, I'm going to be putting one blue for every two regular white LEDs that are in here, so I figured I'll record that process and maybe show you a trick that I used for using so little wire on these here. Then over in the center I've got an RGB flasher. The initial idea for that was to have one slow RGB flasher behind every door, so it looked like there was just a little bit of life going on. And I'm definitely not going to be able to get the camera too close. Let's try this. A little better, but not much. So of course these sidewalls here would be blocked off once the landing gear wells go in. But once I actually started looking around the inside of the window here, there's actually a lot going on. There's details on the roof that can be seen. Of course it's easier to see all that stuff over here, but yeah, I'm thinking about throwing some like pipes and boxes and stuff back there to make it a little more active basically. And I know there's not supposed to be that stuff down there, and those should probably sealed off airlocks, but I think it'll be a nice little touch. There will be some reflection from the LED coming out onto the underboard here. It's not showing up too well on camera, but it is distinct in person. But there's a lot of stuff that can go on under here, I think, and here's how the underside of this looks. So I've put extra strips and tubes and stuff there. So I'm just thinking a couple things hanging down from the ceiling. Like I said, just get a brass rod, half an inch or so, if that, just to glue it to the ceiling and have it fall in, or rather, not fall into the room, but fall into the room. So right now, like I said, the initial idea was to have one RGB behind each window, and basically what that looked like was this. So right up against there. We put a distinct light on the upper ceiling there, and of course that door would have to be painted fully black to stop that light from leaking through. But overall there's not a lot of effect on the stuff behind it all. So having one RGB in the center, and I'll probably put maybe a couple yellows and warm white. I don't know about the fluorescent white is what I'll refer to that kind as right there. You can definitely see there's a rat's nest going on here. Let's get some light going on. So now that I've got those LEDs positioned, I can trim those wires down really nice and neat and clean all that up. This RGB flasher is just hanging out over here. Let's get on to the blue LEDs. I'm going to shave these down, the tips off, just like I did on the other ones there. And I'm probably going to go with like 5K resistors on these off the bat, just because I only want them to, I want it to be really subtle. Maybe I should just go with 2s and then ramp them down off the master, I guess. That would make more sense. You can pile on, 5 2s, 10 5s, and get a lot of dimming on the LEDs going on. I got to pull that LED out of there, and that won't be a problem at all. I'm going to leave these wires in, like this one is already loosened up. So I'm just going to leave this, just snip it so that nothing's exposed, or maybe glue it down to the surface so there's no chance of it ever doing anything. And then this one just has to be snipped out of there and that should be good as is. So I'll definitely tape the blue going on here, and all that will be wired along over to this area. Definitely get a few more colored LEDs in here. Like I said, a couple yellows, a couple warm whites, and a couple flashers, just to give things a little difference. So this is a fusion core cover that started off just basically as the circle to block the top off here, and I had these 1-inch strips laying around, so I figured, well, why not take a look at them and see if I could make walls going all the way around, because there was almost guaranteed to be light bouncing around from one way or another. I thought this would fit in any which way, but I guess I should have paid attention to which way I pulled this off. There we go. So yeah, I'll have to mark that then. This way goes that way, flight deck. But this was simple enough to build. All I did was pop out the outer fusion core area, circle that onto a piece of styrene, trim that, and then I realized that where it hits these legs, I needed a flat place going across to get it to fit better. And then the styrene strips here, they were just scrap laying around. I went with the super glue and CA combo to beef those up real fast. And once this gets painted black, it's going to be really good at blocking all the light. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. That's definitely a good one to have here. It doesn't get in the way, as demonstrated by putting the floor on. And one thing that there is some blocker somewhere. I'm trying to think now. One of these struts actually interferes with the LEDs. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Oh, right. It was these 3 tubes and that wall there were hitting each other. It shouldn't be a problem though. At worst, I'll have to cut a little bit around the styrene wall to get them to fit better. And there's the blue LED I was looking for. So that's it for the main talking stuff, I guess. So now what I'll do is set up the camera and start wiring those LEDs into the mix.